Good afternoon, I'm Josh Duncan, and these are some of the top headlines out of the KelownaNow newsroom today. A judge has ruled that a Kelowna man has to pay part of the vet bills incurred by his neighbor after his 3 golden retrievers fatally attacked her chihuahua. A BC Civil Resolution Tribunal determined Joshua Roberge must pay half of the nearly $4,200 in vet bills that Jade McCullough racked up following the harrowing incident. The night of the attack, McCullough let her chihuahua Pina out into the backyard and briefly stepped it back inside, but then heard the sound of dogs yelping. She went back outside to find Roberge's 3 Goldens, Jet, Nova, and Noni, attacking Pina. Pina later died from the injuries suffered in the attack. Maria Montgomery, the tribunal member who oversaw the case, heard plenty of evidence from both sides, including debates over a hole in the bottom of the fence between the 2 people's yards and whether Pina voluntarily went through it to Roberge's yard or if she was dragged through by the Goldens. Information and statements were provided by an animal control officer and the Golden Retriever's veterinarian. In the end, Montgomery determined both parties were each to blame, hence the decision to make Roberge pay for half of the vet bills. The city of Kelowna is looking to the public for input as it begins the design process for a trio of new parks. That includes Barley Park, a 0.37 hectare site west of Orchard Park Mall that's currently home to a small playground, community garden, and open lawn area. Walrod Park in the north end between Richter and Ethel near Knox Mountain. If we scroll down a little bit there, we can see Walrod Park as well. That is a 0.98 hectare site where the Justice Institute of British Columbia's Okanagan campus is set to be demolished later this year. And then finally, this bottom one here, temporarily named Casorso Park, is 1.48 hectares and right beside Casorso Elementary School, so an important parcel of land there. There are some really cool early design concepts, as you saw, for all 3 parks. They're available on the city's public engagement website. Residents encouraged to go visit that site and provide feedback before Sunday, November 23rd. The feedback option open to everyone, but if you live close to one of these parks, it's even more important that you go and give your say. Heading outside of Kelowna now and down the connector to Merritt, where a blessing ceremony took place at the site of a future rest stop development, one that many travelers who frequently head between the Okanagan and Lower Mainland will be very excited about. It is Gateway 286 at the site of the old Merritt Adventure Center, where the Coquihalla and Connector meet. That, of course, is exit 286. After some delays, Tuesday's blessing ceremony marked the beginning of what they call vertical construction at the site, which sounds like a good thing. This project will be developed through a partnership between Kelowna-based developer Troika and Spyam Holdings LP, a consolidated development corporation owned by the 5 Nicola Valley First Nations. Once complete, you can expect a mix of fuel, dining, retail, and one of Western Canada's largest EV charging hubs, all servicing an expected 20,000 vehicles per day. There is no official timeline on how long construction is going to take, but we should start to see buildings pop up at the site by next summer. The old Merritt Adventure Center, of course, was closed in 2018 when the province opened the Loon Lake Rest Stop on the connector. That lot there has been empty for several years, but not for much longer. Not far away from there, the BC Highway Patrol investigated a serious motorcycle crash on a highway near Kamloops earlier this week. The single vehicle crash involving a blue Harley-Davidson happened around 2:15 p.m. Monday on Highway 97C, but not the connector, the other part of it, just north of the Highway 8 junction, again near Kamloops. Police say the 37-year-old male driver was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. His 39-year-old female passenger suffered life-threatening and life-altering injuries from the incident. Corporal Michael McLaughlin says alcohol and speed are being investigated as contributing factors. The Highway Patrol reaching out to the public in hopes of learning more about the rider's behavior in the hours and minutes leading up to this serious collision. Any travelers who saw a blue Harley riding in that general area on Monday, or anyone with relevant dashcam footage, is urged to reach out to the Highway Patrol's Kamloops branch. Finishing off here today with a little fun story, my colleague Steve McNall has uncovered the most expensive Airbnb in all of Canada It is right here in Kelowna. It is called Chateau Okanagan, located on a bluff above Okanagan Lake between Knox Mountain and Lake Country. Look at that mansion there. The home is 20,000 square feet with 8 bedrooms, and there's a separate 2-bedroom, 2,000 square foot guest house, all sitting on 44 acres of land. There are plenty of photos here. It's crazy. The cost, $16,000 per night, and there's a minimum 3-night stay, which means it's going to be close to $50,000 if you stay for the minimum. But that wild price gives you 2 pools, 2 hot tubs, 5 beaches, a tennis court, billiards room, gym, yoga space, spa, theater, wine cellar, plenty more. There's also a bunch of patios with outdoor living rooms and kitchens. Really cool space. There's a concierge, chef, wait staff, and you can pay for extra stuff too, like a tennis coach or a yoga teacher. You can have up to 16 people for overnight stays, but there's also a 40-person capacity for special events like weddings, corporate retreats, family reunions. All in all, just a crazy property, a crazy Airbnb listing, the most expensive in Canada. You can check out Steve McNull's feature story on that at KelownaNow.com for more details. I also did a TikTok and Instagram video on it, which you can watch on those platforms. All right, a quick look at the forecast. Mix of sun and cloud, 12 degrees in the valley right now. It's a pretty nice afternoon out there. It's going to stay partly cloudy as it dips to just above freezing tonight. I believe the low is 1. Should be a nice Thursday, too. Mainly sunny and a high of 10 forecast for Kelowna. That is it for me today, but you can read up on all these stories and plenty more over at KelownaNow.com. Be sure to check us out on socials as well. KelownaNow.com on TikTok, KelownaNow on X, Now Media Group on YouTube, and our new Facebook and Instagram accounts that we hope to get you as a follower on. They are Best of Kelowna Now. And on that note, a quick little announcement. This will be my 3rd to last news broadcast in this forum. Some may have noticed, but I'm starting to do shorter, punchier editions on TikTok and Instagram that the people seem to be consuming a little more and really enjoying. So I'm going to transition full-time to that method after this week. So that means there are still 2 more broadcasts like this to go through Thursday, Friday. So I'll see you back here tomorrow for another look at the headlines. Cheers.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.